Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Lucy, welcome. And today, as promised, what do you want? Today, as promised, I am filming the rest of my makeup collection. This is palettes that I have and also like a few other little bits. I do believe I haven't been through my primers or any of my foundations, but I don't really have very many as usual the sun comes out. I don't really have that many to show you, so I am just going to show you the rest of my collection vis-a-vis all the palettes that I own. These are eyeshadow palettes, blush palettes, highlighter palettes. Let's just get into it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give me a big thumbs up. Let me know if you've got any of the things that I show you and what you think of them. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Is it better to just take them all out and then put them all back in? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I tried to film this the other day and I couldn't get the drawer open, so I abandoned it quickly. And yeah, if we can get them all out. Okay, here we go. So first drawer, we have the Folklore Ever-Changing palette. I don't actually think, oh, I have used it a tiny bit. This is what the palette looks like. I believe it's like, you can get these on like AliExpress for like £3. I do like the Folklore formula, but this has been at the back of my drawer, so I haven't really reached for it. However, I have to say, the colours are quite cute, like the shimmers and everything. I might have to like try and get this out a bit more and have a play with it. This is the Folklore Tropical Vacation palette. I feel like this one, the name of the palette is better suited to the Ever-Changing palette. It says it's called the Tropical Vacation palette, yet it's just your bog standard, like nude everyday palette. Haven't reached for this one. I find the colour story a little bit boring, if I'm honest. In fact, I think I'm going to give this to my niece. I'm going to give it to her. So I'm decluttering as well. So the next one is by Exposed Cosmetics. This is the Sahara Sunset palette. It's quite sort of reminiscent, I think, of the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette, especially this sort of purpley colour here. The only thing I don't like about this palette is all of this wasted space around it. It's kind of like promising sort of extra colours, I think, and then when you open it up, it just looks a little bit like lackluster and disappointing. However, I haven't really sort of given it a fair chance as to yet, so I'm keeping this one. I say keeping this one. This is just into my drawer it goes. I will have to sort of maybe try like rotating my palettes a little bit. The next one is a Revolution Reloaded Iconic Division palette. This was supposed to be reminiscent of one of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I think it was the Prism or Subculture, I can't remember. I used it once for a tutorial. I haven't used it again. I don't think I've given, again, this a fair chance. It's just been at the back of my drawer. The next one is a blusher palette. I don't often wear that blusher all that often. I don't know why. It's just one of those things that I don't reach for anymore. I used to wear blusher all the time when it was fashionable. but it's just the Barry M, like, generic one. Should probably keep that at the front. The next one is an Illamasqua one. This is, I don't know how old, quite old, but I keep it. It's the Fundamental palette. I don't even know if you can still get these, but that silver is to die for, and it's the only Illamasqua palette that I have, so I like to keep it. This is a MAC one. My mum bought me this years and years ago, and again I keep it for sentimental reasons. I haven't used it for ages. I don't know where to put them. The next one is a Clarins one. Again, I've hit pan. This is so old. This was the first eyeshadow palette that I did the trick. If you watch my You Can Be highlighter palette video, this is the first palette that I ever did that with. They're just lovely, like, pastel colours, and when you put them on top of like a black eyeliner or a black cream eyeshadow, they pop like anything. And as you can see, this one was obviously my favourite colour, and again I keep it for sentimental reasons. I keep it actually because I couldn't find a palette like that would have those properties. Like I say, when you put it on top of black cream, makes them pop. And then I found the You Can Be highlighter palette, which does the same thing, so I might actually throw that away because it has, like, it's gone off. This is the You Can Be Heaven's Hue highlighter palette. This is number 1. I do believe there's 2 shades. I love this because, like I say, they really pop. I don't really use them as highlighters. I tend to use them more as eyeshadows, but you can use them as lip toppers, everything. Great. The next one is a Spoiled Cosmetics, oh, never mind, palette. I used this once for a sort of unboxing video, and I haven't reached for it since. I don't think the colours are all that great. It doesn't really speak to me. However, it's a bi-monthly subscription, and I should have another palette coming soon, so keep your eyes peeled. The next one, I don't know how long I've had this. It's an Urban Decay one. It came in like this little thing. I couldn't tell you what the palette is called, but the I can't remember even why I bought it, but the colours in here are stunning. This one in here is my favourite, Omen. It's the only Urban Decay palette I believe that I have actually. So I did have a couple more, but I got rid of them as time went on. One is another Folklore one. I use this palette quite a bit. This was We Care Your Favours palette. I don't know why they call them really random names, but the formula is quite good in this palette, and I have used it quite a bit, especially Toffee. Where's Toffee? I found it. I found Toffee. There it is, right there. I use that to just darken up the crease. Moonlight is a cute colour. Obviously, Garnet up here, you can see I've mushed that. It's a good palette. If you are on a budget, I would say go on to eBay, Amazon or AliExpress and pick this one up because it is quite good. The next one is a MSHA Cosmetics Matte and Shimmer palette. If you watch the unboxing of this, you'll know that one of the pans fell out. I think I have managed to fix it, but I love this palette. It is lovely. I do think it's missing a yellow, but other than that, like a big bright yellow, I mean. I think it's quite good. It has got all the colours in there. You should definitely check MSHA Cosmetics out. Yep. So I've got to try and fit them all in there. That should go at the bottom. We'll put that one at the bottom because it's a bigger palette. Makes sense, right? My packing skills are rubbish, guys. There we go. Right, the next one is the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I haven't done anything with this. It's still in the box. I do believe I opened it up to show you guys. You've all seen it. I haven't had a chance to play with this one yet. The next one is from You Can Be, and this is their Crystal Sugar Glow Kit. This is good as a good highlighters. I like this one at the end. They're so creamy. Just a highlighter palette. And then we have a glitter palette from Dollywood Boutique. I do use glitters from this palette because this palette I feel has got just the right amount of colours. You can get bigger glitter, pardon me, you can get bigger glitter palettes, but I feel like this one is just the right amount of glitter for me. You can get, like, I can get overwhelmed with the amount of like glitter and stuff that I see in palettes. So yeah, that was the first drawer. Let's open up the second drawer. This is like more sort of premium. I know I showed you the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, but I don't have room in this drawer for it. Right, take them all out and then we can begin. Right, first palette in this drawer is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I have never ever used this palette. It is still brand new, but I felt like I needed to get it to try it, and it's been in my drawer and I've never used it, but I'm hoping to sort of get into using it soon. The problem I have with this palette is it's just so big. It's so big. And the Identity palette from Beauty Bay, again, they're just huge. They're just huge palettes. So I find it like a little bit overwhelming, I guess. So that's the Jaclyn Hill palette. This is the Identity palette from Beauty Bay, 42 colours. You're supposed to like use them like a grid system, so you go down or whatever way you want. It just comes with a huge mirror, so it is quite good, but it's not practical for travelling, guys. It's huge, absolutely huge. But I do think this is quite good value for money. I think it was like £25. 42 shades, and it's got like your base colour, transition, crease, liner, pop, highlight. So if you're thinking of buying like a present for someone, or there's like you have a relative or a friend that wants to get into makeup and doesn't know where to start, these palettes are quite good for that, I believe. And £25 as well, and they'll think you spent a lot more money. The formula is good as well. The next one is, oh, I love this palette just to look at it, not even to use it. It's my LA Splash, or La Splash as some people call it, classic horror palette. Oh, just look at, this is like the prettiest palette ever. Just look at those colours, they're just lush. I'm scared to use it because I don't want to like make it dirty. I keep the plastic on the mirror. I don't know, I love this palette. The aesthetics of it, the sleeve is just lush, just love it. So the next one is, this is my favourite Brights palette. If you're looking for a good colourful palette that is pigmented, that is easy to work with, easy to blend, that has a collection of mattes and shimmers, this is the palette for you. This is the Slush palette by September Rose Cosmetics. And just, this is just beautiful. This palette is dirty where I use it quite a bit. It comes with a mirror, so if you're traveling, it's the ultimate palette. You can use it as is on its own, or you can use it with like another palette to sort of like balance it out if you needed a more neutral shade. What I tend to do is start off with the yellow, sorry, and then, or like an orange, one of these oranges here, like as the transition, and then just work from there. They don't go muddy or anything. They're easy to blend. They hold their own when they need to. Like I say, great combination of shimmers and mattes. I just love it. Love that palette, and it's not that expensive either. The next one is Jeffree Star Thirsty palette. This is the first of my Jeffree Star palettes to show you. I opened it, did an unboxing, and then I've just been dreaming of it since. Haven't actually like used it again. This silver though is everything. I haven't even taken the plastic off. The mirror. I tend to like just use what's to hand rather than going through my drawers, which is my own fault, but I do really like this palette. The next one is, oh, we're getting for 20 minutes. The next one is Jaclyn Hill Morphe Bling Boss palette. I've used this a few times. I love that purple. Yeah, it's an okay palette. Next one is another, this is the Dark Magic. This is the one before and this one were part of her Vault collection. But I only bought these two because they were the only ones that I quite liked. As you can see, I've dug into this one quite a bit too. I do like sort of greens. Next one is the Blood Sugar palette. Self-explanatory. I do find it quite hard to open. I have used it quite a few times, but I love the Blood Sugar palette. And because I'm in the UK as well, we did have to wait like quite a while before we got it, which was disappointing. But I will say as well, like, this isn't a bragging video. People have asked to see my my collection. If anything, you should feel sorry for me because my bank balance hates me continuously. So to my desk, what I keep on my desk is I have this Z palette here. This has got, this is the Colourpop My Little Pony, My Little Pony highlighter. This one is from Bo's Beauty, I believe, called Every Cloud. And then this is a Makeup Geek one. I just keep that on my thing. Then I have the palette that I pretty much use for every day, which is my Sophie Revolution. This is her first one. I was doing a Project Pan with this, and yeah, that's as far as I got. As you can see, quite a few of the eyeshadows have dips in them. This palette is £10, guys, and I have to say that this formula is really, really good. Some of the Revolution products are like hit and miss, but Sophie really came through with this one. I actually unfollowed her on YouTube, and I should probably follow her again, but there we go. Then we have Jeffree Star Cosmetics Androgyny palette. I literally use this colour here for contouring. I don't really use any of the other colours. I should probably get into that. Now it's winter, like grungy. So there's that one. And then my favourite one, and you can see how long I've had it because it's just faded in the sun, my Beauty Killer palette. I love this palette so much. As you can see, I dig into Princess quite a bit, this one quite a bit, and this one quite a bit. Also China White, because that's perfect for sort of if you need to set your base. That's perfect for that. My favourite palette. What else have I got? Oh, I forgot. I've got the Alien palette. I will be filming a try-on sort of first impressions with this soon, probably after this, maybe a bit later, I don't know. But I absolutely adore this palette. I feel like there isn't a colour story like it around on the market, and it's lovely. It's cool toned, which is quite different from other palettes. I think other palettes at the moment are like warm toned all of the time, and it does get a little bit boring. Right, then we have the final bit, I promise. This is a drawer that I either haven't reviewed yet or I just can't fit anywhere else. Oh. So we have the Zulu palette. I wanted this palette for ages and I finally got it. Oh gosh. I'm talking too much, sorry. Then we have these Harry Potter ones that I got from Boots, and I was quite disappointed to know that they weren't vegan. We have the Hufflepuff one. We have the Gryffindor one. Ravenclaw. Now Ravenclaw, I went on to Pottermore the other day and got sorted, and I was actually a Ravenclaw rather than a Hufflepuff, which I was quite surprised with. And then we have the Slytherin. So if you're not fussed about your palettes being like vegan or cruelty free and you're into Harry Potter, then Boots have these. Then we have the La Belle Colour Splurge palette. This palette is bloody gorgeous. There we go. They're all mattes. Some people like an all matte palette. I thought it was pretty good. They are very pigmented, and this palette is like £15, guys. So it's quite good value for money. They're a little bit powdery, like you get a bit of kickback from them, but they are pigmented, guys. Pigmented. The next one is this Barry M Shipwreck palette. This palette is lovely. Honestly, it's really good, guys. And I think it's like £12. It's good. See if it'll fit in the drawer. The drawer of doom, clearly. There we go. So, where are we? Then we have this Moon Pie Cosmetics palette. This was £15, I believe. The colours are quite good. You can see I have used it quite a bit. Yeah, nothing to say on that one. It's just a good palette. Then we have the Masquerade Mini palette by Juvies Place, the Magic Mini palette by Juvies Place. You would have seen them everywhere, guys. Then we have some that I haven't even like gone to. This is the Revolution Pro. This is the Revolution Imagination. As you can see, it's still in the packet. Then we have two of the chocolate bars. We have the macaroon palette and the cotton candy palette. And then we have the Carmi Kiss of Fire palette and the Sophie extra spice palette. Again, in the packets, I haven't even got round to opening them yet. Just been so busy, and I don't want to open them and start using them because I have so much open already that I don't want them to like expire and get nasty and manky. Yeah. Right guys, I'm just going to finish the video and then I'm going to put everything back in. Let me know if you guys have got any of these palettes and what you think of them. And as ever guys, I'm going to go and rest my voice because it's going to cut out in a second. I will see you soon for another video. Bye!